Hello, welcome to Christ-Centered Gamer's latest unboxing of something I'm really excited about. This is the PDP Victrix Pro BFG controller, wireless. This particular model is for PS5, and this is the Call of Duty Field Op version. So I'm not normally one for branded controllers, but this one does look pretty cool. Um, this one is the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC version of the controller. You can see on the side here what's included. It's got the BFG wireless controller, USB wireless dongle, the 6-button FightPad module. I'm looking forward to that. The reversible D-pad and analog stick module, interchangeable D-pad caps, analog stick caps and gates, which is really cool. 3-meter braided USB-C cable, very nice. A carrying case, awesome, and a modular customization tool. So there's some pretty cool stuff in here. This is wired and wireless connectivity. Here's more in the back. Okay, you can get a good look at that. As you can see, there's a whole lot to this thing. Multiple trigger stops, swappable sticks, the gates, which is unheard of. I actually can't think of a modern controller that supports multiple gates. That's really cool. The 6-button module, which is awesome. Swappable controller or module positions. So yeah, there's a lot to this controller, and I look forward to showing you. Here's another good look at the side with its included compatibility. So you can see it supports PS4, PS5, and PC. So let's crack this thing open and see what it's like. So this is the second the second modular controller that I've seen. We reviewed the Thrustmaster as well. So this one I'll be certainly putting up against that. This one has one big advantage though. It's wireless. The other one is wired only. So for the value, I mean, they're expensive controllers. I mean, let's face it, they're both $170, $180 range. I think this is $180. So it's certainly not cheap. But with a premium feature set and being, I'd say wireless is pretty important for that price. And so this one has that. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, this one being the PlayStation model, here we go. So you got the little Pro BFG Call of Duty inside the box. We've got the very sharp looking case. It's kind of got an interesting hexagonal shape to it. That's kind of neat. There you go. And it looks like this is just the box. I don't think there's anything under this. We've got discounts, some QR codes for quick access guide. Not a whole lot else there, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. So let's see what's inside this. Now this is a fairly small container compared to some of the other controllers, so that's pretty cool. That means it's very portable. This has kind of a fancy strap on top for your thumb here, or that I'm holding it up with my thumb. It's kind of got a suede feel to it, or a felt feel to it. So that's kind of neat. All right, let's check out the inside. Okay, wow, that is very cool looking. Very cool looking. So we've got the purple. I'm guessing. Oh, okay. So this is actually held in by a strap. So we've got this little purple container, or what do you call it? Is this held in? Yeah, I guess it is. All right, so we've got a strap here. In order to remove this cable, I have to unvelcro it. So this is actually held in by Velcro. Then we've got this very sharp looking purple cable. Pretty cool looking. It's got a little cable strap holder on it, which you don't see too often. And then the USB-C on the other end, which I'm grateful to see it's USB-C. All right, and then this is it tied together. We've got the controller itself, which has got all kinds of stuff that we'll get to remove in just a moment. Wow, there's actually a lot here. Okay, so we've got the first shelf of things, which it does come out, is you've got the FightPad and the dongle, which is very important. We'll go ahead and take that out. This is actually a pretty premium presentation they got here. Then you've got, okay, the dongle right here. All right, so I'll show you that dongle. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my little computer. I don't have a PlayStation close by, but I do have this little computer close by. So I put it in there. All right, and we've got these different gates. So why would you want an octagonal gate? One is because older consoles like Nintendo consoles use them. But the main reason is fighting games love these because you can use an analog stick for your fighting games and then have direct, instant, and sure analogs and or up, down, left, right, and diagonals. Very useful for fighting games. This is really cool. This is the module. As you can see on the back, it's got little electronic touch, and it's so the Thrustmaster is magnetic with their modules. This one, I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. That's kind of interesting. Okay. These are, looks like they're attached with an Allen wrench. So it includes, right in here, you can see we've got this. We've got replaceable D-pads, different replaceable sticks. And I don't know what these are. These are just little posts. Maybe they're just to hold the case together. I don't know. I'm not sure if they have a purpose. But this little tool right here, this Victrix tool, is probably what you use to install everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get it to focus on that. There you go. And so yeah, this goes right here, and then it just you can use this to screw in and unscrew this. So this is interesting. I see one tall and one short stick. I'm trying to remove this. I don't know if there's multiple in here or if it's just one. You really only get one tall that stick. That's interesting. Here's what the tall stick looks like. You can see the top is concave for this one. Okay. And then it's got a kind of a crosshair on the top, which is hard for me to show on camera, but it's there. This is a very short stick, probably shorter than the default, with a round crown on top instead. So there you go. A round crown like a PS3. It's a very short stick right there. This is the default sticks. Okay, so we've got all kinds of little rubber gaskets. I'm going to peel these off right here. So this is obviously the main event. We have some pretty interesting stuff here. So we have replaceable D-pads. So we have 3 different styles of D-pads. We have this reminds me a lot of an Xbox style D-pad. You kind of have the diagonals are offset a little bit. And then you have this, I'm trying to get that in there here, show it to you. Then you have this classic plus style D-pad that most Nintendo fans are familiar with. Okay, very nice. And then you have this very unique one that's installed by default right there. I've never seen a D-pad shaped like that. So a few thoughts. This has a touchpad right here, which is really cool. It's got buttons surrounding the touchpad, which I'm assuming is start, select, and share equivalent, whatever they call them now these days. You've got this touchpad clicks, which is great. You have the PS button on the bottom. You've got these analog sticks right here. You have this very unique D-pad. I'll have to play with that. You have these buttons. They feel like membrane buttons, but they're pretty good membrane buttons. You have these triggers on top. They feel really good. They're a little textured. They're not as textured as the Turtle Beach ones, but they are slightly textured. This right here is like a soft rubberized coating. This back here is a slightly different rubberized coating. You've got 4 buttons in the rear that have a pretty solid feel to them. There is a Wi-Fi versus wired switch in the back. Tiny little switch. It's very hard to see. I'll give you a good look at that back of that controller. That's probably a profile button in the back. And I'm guessing, actually, I don't know what these 2 sliders do. Oh, okay. So these 2 sliders change it from, set your length, your throw distance. So oh, weird. Oh, that is strange. Okay, so how it works is you pull you by default they're full throw, which is what you want for racing games, for example. For fighting games, you want them to be short throw. So just a little bit of click is all you need, right? So yeah, that's interesting. So what you do is you hold it down, you squeeze you pull the triggers, then you pull the triggers to the level you want, and then let go. And now it's a full throw trigger. This is definitely a very sharp controller. I hope you can see that well, but it's pretty neat looking. Prominent Call of Duty branding. Um, Definitely sharp. It's got a headphone jack on the bottom as well. So all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and just turn this on. See if I can get it to turn on. See if I can get my little computer to see it. It does see it. Oh, I actually have it on PS5 mode. So there's a switch on the top I forgot to tell you about. You see it's got PS5, PS4, and PC modes. So this is PS5 mode. Let me just see if this works. Okay, it actually is working. So out of the box, Windows sees it, which is pretty great. The touchpad shows up as a button. The touchpad click works. The movement doesn't seem to do anything, but all the buttons work. I don't know if this bottom button does anything, but yeah, it all whoop. Even pressing the what do you call this? The PS button brought up Steam, which tells you that it works. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Okay. Now I'm going to bring up a controller tester that supports Rumble. I'm not expecting it to support Rumble. As a matter of fact, not what I wanted. Thank you. Control. So I did spend some. Okay, it does not show up as an Xbox controller, so this cannot test it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change this to PC mode and see what that does. It might not do anything much. I mean, but we will find out. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to PC. Okay, and then the controller was disconnected. Now will Windows, okay, I have to turn it back on again. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out is when you turn it on, the purple in the Call of Duty glows in this touchpad. See that? That's pretty cool looking. Okay, so now it shows up as a controller for Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and see what that does. All right, so this actually shows up as an Xbox controller, and it has less input options. So less buttons are available. But let me see if an X input, if it shows up as an X input or if it shows up as still as, okay, so it does show up there. Go ahead and, okay, so my controller tester is seeing it. Select a controller. Okay, there we go. So there it is. All the buttons are there. It shows up as an Xbox controller. Apparently my Steam desktop profile is set to be annoying, so I got to turn that off. But yeah, so all the buttons work. Pretty cool. Oh, it's emulating a mouse right now, which is not really what I want. But yeah, the analog triggers work really good. I think they're I don't know if they're Hall effect or not, honestly, but they're really good triggers. They feel really nice. I don't think so. One thing to be aware of is that this controller. Beat open the menu. Okay, test option. Vibration poster. So my understanding is that the PlayStation version of this, yeah, and there's indeed no rumble. So the PlayStation version of this controller does not support rumble of any kind, and it does not support motion. Just to be aware of that. If you want this for PC, you may want to consider the Xbox version of this controller. I ended up getting the PlayStation one, which is totally fine. But just be aware that this controller does not support rumble or motion. So be aware of that limitation if you decide to purchase this one. Now, I spoke with my PR rep at Turtle Beach because PDP was purchased by Turtle Beach, and they explained that this is not a fault of PDP not wanting that feature. Sony doesn't license those features to third-party controllers. So while Microsoft insists that third-party controllers have rumble, as an example, Sony insists that they do not. So unfortunately, on a PlayStation, if you want DualSense and you want rumble triggers and you want all those features, you require, Sony doesn't license out those features to other people. So just be aware that no third-party controllers on PlayStation will have those features. So it's not the fault of PDP. Blame Sony if you don't like it, just to be aware. But one of the main features of this controller is actually that it's designed largely with fighting game enthusiasts in mind. For those who don't know, Steam and PlayStation are the main headquarters, if you will, the main platforms that fighting game users use. So most tournaments, for example, use PlayStation. So as a result of that, this FightPad is really important. Oh, these are mechanical buttons instead of membrane. That feels great. This layout is actually what I consider perfect for a fighting game pad, R1 and R2. So I guess to be equivalent to these two, right? These two right here are buttons now, and this layout is in my mind perfect for fighting games. You can do low, medium, and high punch, all with mechanical buttons that feel fantastic. You have this D-pad here, and you can choose the different shapes of the D-pad. You also have the analog stick, and if you want, you can use the gate, right? So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around because it might be interesting to see, just to see how this works as well. So with this, I got to unscrew just a little bit more. All right. So not only can you swap those out, but you can also swap the position of these. If you prefer the Xbox position for your, you can easily flip it around to whatever you like. As you can see there, here's the little magnetic guy, or it's not magnetic, it's purple on the side, and you just screw and tighten it down with this little Allen wrench that they include. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, I think that just about wraps up the Victrix BFG Pro Call of Duty Edition. There's a lot to like about this controller. It's got a lot of functionality. These face buttons feel fantastic. I really look forward to trying this on a fighting game. And please look forward to the written review and take care. God bless and have a great day.